part of limits at infinity. Okay, already in the previous class, you may say it as part 1 of limits at infinity. We discussed a few problems. Okay, limit and tends to infinity. For some functions we found limits in the previous class, and now some other functions here. Let us look at this problem A. Okay, 20th one, A, B, C, right? So limit and tends to infinity this summation. See, we need to find out the limit of this function, the limit of this summation as n tends to infinity, right? Directly, if we replace n with infinity, okay, because there are n terms, and if you replace n with infinity, it is not correct. Okay, we need to simplify it. Okay, yeah. So if you simplify, what will happen? First of all, we have to simplify, and then you need to replace n with infinity. Okay, so as a part of simplification, you need to know some ways of simplifying sequences, right? Some ways of simplifying sequences, and you just use the logics of sequences and series, or you may say progressions here to simplify these summations. And after simplifying these summations, we need to apply limit as n tends to infinity. First of all, you just look at this particular summation, right? Very simple and familiar one. So first of all, you just simplify it for n terms. You just simplify it for n terms and then apply limit. So for the part of simplification, see, you just observe 3 and 5. 2 is the difference. 5 and 7. 2 is the difference. And this number and the next number, 2 is the difference. So how can we simplify? So just concentrate on this summation. That's it first. So multiply everything with 2 and divide with 2. So 1 by 2 of 2 divided by 3 into 5 plus 2 divided by 5 into 7 plus and so on plus 2 divided by 2n plus 1 into 2n plus 3. That's it. And the next step, you just rewrite this numerator 2 as 5 minus 3. Okay, already you learned this way of simplification in sequences. And you just rewrite this 2 as difference of this denominator. So I am writing it like 7 minus 5 by 5 into 7. So likewise we will rewrite every term, and at the end you just rewrite it like this: 2n plus 3 minus of 2n plus 1. This difference is just 2. So write 2 as a difference of those two. And this is half of, pay attention right here, 5 minus 3 by 3 into 5. 5 by 3 into 5 is 1 by 3 minus 3 by 3 into 5. You just cancel out the 3, you left with 1 by 5. So this is simply 1 by 3 minus 1 by 5. Plus, and here 7 by 5 into 7. So cancel out that 7, you left with 1 by 5. 5 by 5 into 7. Cancel out that 5, you left with 1 by 7. Likewise, if you continue, at the end, this 2n plus 3 divided by this product, 2n plus 3 get cancelled. You left with 1 by 2n plus 1 minus 2n plus 1 divided by this product, 2n plus 1 get cancelled. You left with 1 by 2n plus 3. So this is just equal to the given sum. Now when you observe, yeah, this 1 by 5 and 1 by 5 get cancelled. This 1 by 7 and 1 by 7 of the next term will get cancelled. Likewise, if you continue, this 1 by 2n plus 1 and 1 by 2n plus 1 of its before term will get cancelled. At the end, you left with this 1 by 3 and that 1 by 2n plus 3. And before that, we have 1 by 2. So this is equals to limit n tends to infinity half of 1 by 3 minus 1 by 2n plus 3. Now you just substitute n as infinity now. If you replace n with infinity, what will happen? If you replace n with infinity, this is equals to 1 by 2 of 1 by 3 minus 1 by infinity. 1 by infinity is 0. 1 by 3 minus 0. 1 by 2 into 1 by 3. 1 by 6 is your answer. Okay? Just have a look. So, we need to apply limit for this summation. First of all, simplify this summation as 1 by 3 minus 1 by 2n plus 3 and then apply limit. You will get your answer as 1 by 6. Okay, have a look. In the same way, now we are going to solve the next two. So just look at the board. Down the next problem. B, limit n tends to infinity 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus and so on 1 by 3 power n. First of all, you just pay attention on this summation. When you observe it, the first term is 1 by 3, the next one is multiplication of 1 by 3 again, 1 by 3 square, and next one is 1 by 3 cube. So always we are just multiplying with 1 by 3. So this will form a geometric progression with the first term as 1 by 3, common ratio also as 1 by 3. Since it is a geometric progression with first term 1 by 3 and common ratio 1 by 3, then we know the sum of n terms of the geometric progression, Sn. The formula is a into r power n minus 1 by r minus 1. Here a is 1 by 3, r power n is 1 by 3 power n minus 1 divided by 1 by 3 minus 1. Okay, a into r power n minus 1 by r minus 1. If you know a and r of a GP. Now we need to apply limit for this particular value. So that's why what I am writing here, it is this is equals to limit n tends to infinity 1 by 3 into 1 by 3 to the power n minus 1 divided by 1 by 3 minus 1. 1 by 3 minus 1 is simply minus 2 by 3. Just have a look. 1 by 3 minus 1. 1 minus 3 is minus 2 by 3. So this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So this is equals to 1 and this is minus 2. 1 and minus 2 is what? Minus 1 by 2 into, in the denominator 1 by 3 to the power n. There you need to pay your attention, okay? See, 1 by 3 is a number and its power n. That n is tending to infinity. See, when you think about 1 by 3, 1 by 3 is a decimal value whose value is in between 0 and 1. See, take any value which is in between 0 and 1, rise its power, and if, as you rise the power, the value goes on decreases. Okay? So you just think about it. For suppose if you take any decimal value like 0.1, think about 0.1 power 10 as well 0.1 power 100. See, 0.1 power 10 is greater value, whereas 0.1 power 100 is very lesser value. That in the sense, as you increase the power, the value goes on decreases. Here as n is increasing to infinity, the value goes on decreases to 0. So this 1 by 3 to the power n is 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1 is minus 1, minus 1 into minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. So at the end, the answer for this situation is 1 by 2. The limit n tends to infinity of this particular summation is 1 by 2. So this is a general way of using sum of n terms of GP and applying limit. So we have another way, okay? Or I will say, for suppose if any one of you know about sum of infinite terms of geometric progression, there we have a direct rule that a divided by 1 minus r. See, this is just simply the proof for that a by 1 minus r. If you use it for infinite terms, since as they saying n is tending to infinity and the summation as having n terms, which in turn represents that sum of infinite terms of GP. So you just use this particular formula with a as 1 by 3 divided by 1 minus 1 by 3. At the end you will get same answer as that 1 by 2. So you have two choices. Either directly you may use S infinity of GP, or you may use Sn of GP and then apply as n tends to infinity. Okay. So this is another problem related to the summations as n tends to infinity. And after this I have one more problem. Here I have a summation of n terms, and again we need to apply limit as n tends to infinity. We are going to calculate the limit of that particular function. Have a look. So limit n tends to infinity this particular summation. Again just look at that summation. See, when you observe the numerators 3, 7, 11, see 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 4 is 11, like that it goes. That in the sense the numerators are forming an arithmetic progression. Whereas along with this 3 we have 1 by 2. This 1 by 2, 1 by 2 square, 1 by 2 cube and so on. They will form a geometric progression. At the end, this type of sequence is usually known as arithmetico-geometric sequence. Okay. See, initially at limits we don't need the name, but we need the summation of sum of n terms, and then we need to apply limit as n tends to infinity. For that, first term is 3 by 2, second one is 7 by 2 square, third one is 11 by t cube, and it has n terms. Say what is that nth term? When you think about nth term, see the denominator is clearly 2 power n, because 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, and then the denominator is 2 power 1. What to say about the numerator? Whereas if you think about the numerator, see continuously we need to add 4. Think about nth term of GP. First term is 3 plus n minus 1 into 4. So what I will say is that is simply 4n minus 1. Just think about it. 4 into 1 minus 1 is 3. 4 into 2 minus 1 is 7. 4 into 3 minus 1 is 11, and that is the nth term. But what we need? I need the sum of all these terms. To calculate sum of all these terms, we have a special procedure that we need to multiply this total summation with the common ratio 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into s is what? So I am just mentioning the total summation as s. My target is to find s. So just multiply that s with 1 by 2. This 1 by 2 into 3 by 2 will become 3 by 2 square. This 1 by 2 into 7 by 2 square will become 7 by 2 cube. Like that, if you move, see the previous term, and then when you multiply with that n, this 2 power n plus this term with this 1 by 2 will become 4n minus 1 divided by 2 power n plus 1. And now you just do subtraction. See, s and s by 2, this is simply s by 2. S minus s by 2, I am just doing subtraction. S by 2. Here directly this is what? 3 by 2. Plus 7 by 2 square and 3 by 2 square. See, it's 7 minus 3 is what is 4. 4 by 2 square. Again, 11 minus 7 is what? 4 by 2 cube. Like that, if you continue, what is this? See, this is 2 cube, this is 2 power n, right? Again, you will get it as 4 by 2 power n plus 4n minus 1 divided by 2 power n plus 1. It's very usual way of simplification. See, starting from this, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 power n, and this term you will get, as we are doing subtraction, see the signs will change, so you will get minus sign here. Okay. This is s by 2. Why do I need? I need s, right? So now when you observe carefully, this 4 by 2 square, 4 by 2 cube and so on up to 4 by 2 power n again will form a geometric progression. Common out that 4, all these terms will form a geometric progression with the common ratio as 1 by 2. First term is 1 by 2 square, like that, okay? So s by 2, or otherwise you just multiply everything 2, what will happen? Send this to that side. Then s is equals to 2 into 3 by 2 is 3 plus 4 by 2 plus 4 by 2 square and so on plus 4 by 2 power n minus 1 minus 4n minus 1 by 2 power n. See, just I am trying to find the summation first, and after identifying the summation, then I will apply limit, okay? So to identify the summation, we need the concepts related to sequences, okay? If you are not good at sequences, you may feel some difficulty at this situation, okay? So when you look at these values, just 4 is a common thing, and and the remaining sequence will form a geometric progression. Just I am thinking about the summation, right? So s is equals to 3 plus 4 into 1 by 2, 1 by 2 square and so on 1 by 2 power n minus 1. That is the sense 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 power n minus 1 minus 1 divided by 1 by 2 minus 1. A into r power n minus 1 by r minus 1 minus 4n minus 1 divided by 2 power n. Okay, what we need to do? Just try to simplify. 1 by 2 minus 1 is how much? 1 by 2 minus 1 is minus 1 by 2. In the numerator we have 1 by 2, those two will get cancelled out with 4. So s is equals to 3 minus 4 into 1 by 2 power n minus 1 minus 1 minus, so 4n minus 1 by 2 power n. What we need to do? 4n minus 1 divided by 2 power n as n is tending to infinity. See, this is 4n minus 1 into 1 by 2 to the power n. Okay, 4n minus 1 into 1 by 2 to the power n. See, as n is tending to infinity, we need to find the limit value. As n is tending to infinity, that s is equals to, as n is tending to infinity, as we said previously, the decimal value to the power n leaves us 0. So 3 minus 4 into, this is 1 by 2 power n minus 1. 1 by 2 is half and its power n minus 1. So half to the power, some decimal value to the power infinity will give you 0. 0 minus 1 minus, see, this 4n minus 1 into 1 by 2 to the power n. That's what I need to simplify. This 1 by 2 to the power n is again 0. Okay, 0 into something. So when you simplify, you will get its value as 3 plus 4, 7. Okay, just have a look, think about it.